Good morning and welcome to today's Solar Integrated Roofing Webcast as part of the... It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your host, David Massey of Solar Integrated Roofing.
Hey, good morning all. This is David Massey presenting live out of Carlsbad, California from Solar Integrated Roofing Corp. My plan is to run through the deck relatively briefly and spend most of our time on questions so I can answer any questions that anyone has. So if you take a look at this first slide, this is our vision of a modern home. You can't see some of the things I'm going to talk about, but we specialize in putting on energy efficient roofs, capping them off with a solar system, ideally putting a Tesla battery backup in, and adding a charging station for a futuristic type home is the model that we're working on now. So that's what we think of as our new next modern home that we're building. It's obviously the safe harbor statements, what I'm sure you guys are all very much aware of. This corporate overview, these numbers are from end of Q3, so they're a little dated, but give you an idea, we're originally a Southern California company. We have 4 roofing solar offices here, and that was basically up until the beginning of this year, and then we expanded to the Southeast, bought a company called Cornerstone Construction, which is a roofing solar company out of South Carolina, North Carolina, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. So that was the track across the United States to expand our vision and our footprint for the solar roofing, battery storage, and EV charging. So we're very, very excited about that. We're in a tremendous growth cycle right now. So we're very excited for our next acquisitions and next landings of our new locations. If you take a look at this next slide, these are our revenue streams that we look at. You take a look at the top, SunPower by Milholland Electric. Brian Milholland is actually our president. He's our solar expert and genius. He can literally put solar on the space shuttle if needed, so we have the expertise in that area. We are a SunPower dealer, which is a premium solar panel in the industry. It's literally considered the Mercedes-Benz of solar. It's most efficient, best warranty. It is one of the higher priced systems, if not the highest priced system, but it separates us from that common competition with the lesser type solar panel. Take a look at the right, Montrose Company. That was our expansion in Orange County. Montrose was a roofing company that we're expanding them into a roofing solar company. They handle all of Orange County, get us a little further north. I'm going to drop down to the bottom left, Secure Roofing and Solar. That was my original company. That was the founding company. We were located out of San Marcos, California, which is northern San Diego County. We specialize in roofing and solar. All of these companies do everything in-house. We do not subcontract any of the work. We use nothing but our own managed and trained employees for this. If you take a look at bottom right is InterRev. It's a really, really exciting acquisition. This is a sales and marketing team that has a vivid type sales way. We're going door to door and knocking on projects and expanding our sales and marketing in that area. And they're very valuable because they make it very easy for us to do a roof job and add solar to the neighborhoods and add solar to the jobs that we currently have going on. As we expand in other areas, they're a key piece for us to also expand in those areas. Take a look above that. We have McKay Roofing, one of our first acquisitions. This is a 40-year-old roofing company here in San Diego. There's 3 brothers, the McKay brothers. They were a very well-known company here, mainly referrals. They have a huge following. Folks, they've been taking care of the roofs for 40 years. We acquired them and we're made a nice transition from turning them into a roofing solar company as well. On the bottom middle, you look at Plemco. That was our purchase to get into EV charging. We feel like EV charging is going to be a very large piece of our revenue going forward. Plemco is GSA certified with the government. They're set up for be first in line for a lot of government contracts to be considered. We're really, really excited about that. The owners of the company have a lot of experience. I think Ken is a genius, and it's a really good piece. And yeah, I think you'll see over the course of this year that division is going to grow quite a bit for us. You take a look in the middle corner construction. We did that acquisition, I believe, in the end of February. Again, that moved us across the U.S., got us into 4 good markets. It's an entirely different market in the Southeast. It's mainly a storm market. Most of the work is insurance work. The nice thing about it, the folks are getting insurance checks that basically pays for the roof, and then it makes it easy, very easy to add solar, especially in South Carolina, because they have a state incentive, which is 21%. So you add that with the federal incentive, it gets an incentive up to 47% of the cost of the project. So we're excited about the opportunity there in South Carolina. Market opportunity is endless. Give you an idea, the solar industry last year was a $20 billion industry. The roofing industry was almost a $50 billion industry. We feel like we have the fire and rain type model that when it's raining outside, we get a lot of business from the roofing side. When it's sunny outside and it's hot outside and people are spending a lot of money on electric bills, we get the roofing solar business. So we feel like we have the best of both worlds. And then as we expand into the growing storage and EV market, I feel like we have the current covered and we also have the future covered. Solar install services. Nice thing about us is we don't subcontract the work. We have all our managed and trained employees. It makes it somewhat simplistic to purchase another company and add the solar piece to them. So we feel like that's a big advantage for us, especially with our expertise that we have with Brian. Like I said, Mr. Milholland is probably one of the top 5 to 10 experts in the solar space. Battery storage solutions. We're at Tesla, Powerwall certified installer. Currently, it's about 5% of our revenues. You know, the main reason for that is Tesla does an excellent job of marketing and getting everyone excited about their products, but they have a very, very tough time keeping up with demand. So Tesla batteries are a little bit backed up now. We're waiting about 90 days to 120 days for batteries. So I think when they get caught up on the production, we feel like that with the shifts in charging and the EV world, the way it's going, I think batteries will really pick up. This is the EV charging solutions. Again, with Plimco, we're very, very excited. We have some other acquisitions that we're looking to narrow down here pretty quickly. As I mentioned earlier, we feel like EV charging is the future. And you had EV charging with battery backup and roof and solar. We feel like that's a futuristic home that's going to be definitely here in California, and I think it's going to spread nationwide. Roofing services, again, that's our bread and butter. That's a very high revenue piece for us. We have a lot of roofing experts. We have some of the best in the industry. And it's our model is that we like to buy roofing companies. We feel like we can get them at a lower multiple, and then take our expertise and add solar, EV, and storage, and increase the revenue within the company that we purchased. I think what makes us different is we care. We just did a core value piece, and the bottom line is we care. We care about our shareholders. We care about our customers. We care about our employees. We're all working hard to do the right thing, and I think that comes across. And I think it's an exciting place to be, an exciting place to work, and we have the right team to build this to be something pretty fantastic. And I'm excited. I'm very, very proud of my team members. Our growth plans are, we're just finished Cornerstone. For some of you, you might have seen the press release yesterday. We just did a binding LOI with balance claims. This was truly a key piece. We kind of moved them up in the lineup of acquisitions because they're going to cover our entire back office. They're going to take care of the estimating, the implementing of the insurance piece, so they can really make everything very systematic nationwide with all our subsidiaries. And so as we get that system in place and fine-tune, as we grow, then we'll have all the right pieces to make sure that everything's going as it should and make it seamless. And that was key. So we're wrapping up that. We have 3 other targets that we're working on very closely that should be coming out pretty soon. And then our goal, that will get us to a little over $100 million, we think, run rate by midsummer at the latest. And then we're going to probably pause a little bit then, clean things up, get all the right people in place, get systems in place, and then we're looking to do a pretty substantial uplist at that point. Management, that's key. You know, I call them partners. I'm obviously the CEO. My background is sales and marketing. Brian, as I mentioned, is our solar expert. I'm more of the roofing expert. I've been a roofing contractor for 32 years. Jennifer Bees is our CPA, CFO. She's currently has given her notice, and we're looking for a new CFO now. She kind of was the right piece at the time. We're growing out of her, and we need to find a NASDAQ type CFO. So we're looking for the right person and hope to land that pretty soon. You know, the key takeaways with us is we have a plan in place, and it's all the pieces are coming together. And we feel like with our 4 revenue streams that we have with roofing, solar, EV charging, and storage, I think we're at the right place at the right time. And I think we have a team to execute the plan and get us exactly where we want to be. That was, again, I want to run through the deck. I think that gives you a lot of good feedback for those of you that don't know us. I feel like a lot of you do. I will spend as much time as you like answering your questions. I will. Wow. So I just got the questions page. They're lighting up. First question is from Terry Smith. The recent announcement that Tesla has increased 2-time pricing from initial integrated solar installation to its customers. How does that cost structure stack up to Tesla? And do you see this as an opportunity to gain market share? You know, quite frankly, Tesla is not a big competitor of ours. We're actually a partner with them. We're getting certified to install their roof. You know, Tesla roof is a great idea. It's a beautiful roof. I personally love it. Roofing solar pieces are not the most efficient because of the inverters. It's tough to get microinverters under it. So if you get any shading and you have a string inverter, it creates a solar roof system that's not as efficient as roofing and solar. You know, the roofing piece and the solar piece. So I don't think it has any effect on SRC. We have a question from Brian Oliver. Are there any plans that crypto as a payment option for roofing and solar? You know, we're actually currently looking into it now. One of our subsidiary, Cornerstone Roofing, I think is pretty close to being able to accept crypto, but we're working out the details of that and exactly how it's going to work for us. But we do see it as part of the future. Form 10 indicates potential cash flow challenges that could impact the company's ability to be an ongoing concern. Does the company have any plans to raise capital to address the short-term hurdles that could derail the fantastic vision that you have? You know, I believe a statement that they put in is a standard statement that they have put in. We currently have plenty of cash in the bank. We have plenty of cash to fund the acquisitions that we have teed up. We will, part of my entire day-to-day, I've been on conferences with different banks. So we will be looking to do some type of money raise, probably late summer, maybe early fall. But currently we're fine. We got plenty of cash to do things that we need to do. Will there be a share buyback or a reverse split? We would love to do a share buyback. We'd love to lower the outstanding shares. It's not in the immediate plans. Reverse split, it would be really nice to get up to the NASDAQ, the small cap NASDAQ without doing a reverse, but we would never do anything like that unless it had a positive result. When will the uplift to the OTC QB be completed, and what is the target date for NASDAQ? I understand that the QB to be completed is probably 30 to 60 days away. The attorneys working on it now. We have to get a few independent board members in place and audit committee together, and I think we wrap that up this week. Target date for NASDAQ is it's late summer, early fall. It's a big task. It would sure cap out a great year, but we really think we do it, especially with the revenue I think we're going to be putting up here pretty soon. Where do you see the company in terms of growth in 5 years revenue? And that is a great question. It's I gotta be honest with you. I think with our roll-up model that we have, it's limitless to where we can be, especially as we get all the systems in place. Adding balance claims or doing our back office is key, and getting some of the right pieces in place is key. But I'm very, very confident to say that our run rate will be over $100 million in calendar year 2021, and I think you'll see that the way it's stacking up, start showing up. Our best months are June, July, August. So I think we can put up some $8 to $10 million months in those months with what we have going on. What do you think is a fair price for the stock? Do you feel it's currently undervalued? I like to avoid talking about the stock price. I can't control it. When it goes up, I'm really happy. When it goes down or stagnant, I'm not excited about it. I can tell you one thing, we're going to do everything we can to add the value, keep the share count down, and grow this with the best companies that we can find. Have your acquisitions been funded? All the acquisitions to date have been funded. And the balance claims acquisitions that we announced yesterday, we have the funding for that, and you'll see that happening pretty soon. Could the solar technology be used in the swimming pool business, such as heated pools in both residential and commercial applications? Just a thought. Well, there is solar pool heating. It's an entirely different concept. It's basically just running your pool water up to your solar panels, and your solar panels basically either hot copper or hot rubber, and it just takes the heat from those panels and adds it to the pool, and you circulate all day long. So it's pretty big here in California. I'm not sure about other parts of the country. I've noticed during the quiet period a fair amount of dilution has occurred. As a shareholder, can we expect additional dilution in the future? Also, can you share your current cash on hand? We've had some dilution with raising some of the money that we've had. Nice thing about it, the notes themselves are that we have are premium notes. Most of them are converted over $3 a share. So when we raise the money, let's say one of the notes is $109 million for us. Well, when that converts, that's only going to be 3 million shares, because it's going to convert at $3 a share. So we feel like the debt that we have is a good debt for all. Our current cash on hand is a little over $7 million currently, but it looks like, I feel like in next week, this is not dilution. We have some money coming in that should get us over $10 million. I'm refreshing the page and seeing what else we got. Oh wow, here we go. I found more. How much revenue do you see balance adding in the short term and long term? You know, you won't find a sharper guy than Troy Clymer. He's a genius. He has an MBA in accounting, and he's solid on his numbers. And it is his guesstimation for balance after the close is $4.7 million in added revenue. And you know, with the purchase of balance and what we're doing, I think we'll add more because we're going to do a lot for SIRC. And we also remove some of the partners. So they're poised to do about 4.7 and at an over 20% net profit. And I think those numbers are very, very conservative. You mentioned a significant uplift after $100 million run rate midsummer latest. Would you uplift to OTC markets sooner than that? Yes, we're trying to get to the QB as soon as we get the application done and everything is accepted by them. Can you provide an update on the audit? Cyril Adams is our auditor. I spent last week in South Carolina. He's been in South Carolina at Cornerstone Roofing for going on a second week. He anticipates that to be done this week. And then I believe he's coming out to California to do the fourth quarter, doing the 2021 audit for SRC. Timing is we have to have Cornerstone done by May 11th, and we have to have SRC done by May 30th, are the time frames. There's a possibility we might have to get InterRev audited and Plimco audited, and that might change some of the timing, but those are some of the things that we're working out. What is the time frame for the 3 additional acquisitions? What space, what industry? That's a great question, Gordon. One is a EV charging company that we're working very closely with. I think we're pretty close to putting something on paper there. Hopefully to close within 60 days. Another acquisition we're looking at is a large roofing company, probably a top-of-line roofing company in the United States that's in Texas that we've met with, we're excited to meet with, and we feel he'd be a great partner to work with. We feel like we can work something out with him pretty soon. And the other piece is another solar piece that has the Vivid type model, top of line, best in the industry, that would really be the key pieces that as we add a piece in Texas that we have a solar team that can add the solar punch to the roof jobs that we are doing. What is the time frame to uplist OTC QB? You know, we discussed that earlier. Should be 30, 45 days. It's just a matter of the paperwork. We've been kind of sitting idle with the Form 10 and the audit, but I know Jeff, our attorney, is diligently working with OTC to get them all the paperwork that he needs. Where would you like to see the company ideally by 2030? Do you see yourself expanding further beyond the state of California? You know, 2030 is a long way to go. Ideally, we're larger and we're making more money, but you know, there's possibility of being gobbled up by a larger company. There's lots of possibilities that could happen over 9 years, so it's tough to speculate. We've already expanded beyond California, and we have many targets throughout various key parts of the United States that we're looking at now. Will you wait a quarter and share revenue growth after all the acquisitions are done before uplisting to the NASDAQ? Well, our quarter, we obviously have to file our quarterly reports, so those will be reported every quarter. But I'm sure as the higher revenue months start coming out, May, June, July, I'm sure we will keep all updated on the growth and the revenue and all the exciting things that we're doing. When are we going to be uplisted to QB? I believe I've covered that. Where are you in regard to uplisting? Any comments on current situation, future process will be great. Thank you, Alan. Alan, I feel like I've covered that from the previous questions. Refreshing the page, seeing what else we got. Okay. Give you an idea, we have 2 more pages of questions. I have another call at 8:30, so I could probably run this about 8:15. So I'll try to keep up with them. Do you plan on staying at the current 308 outstanding shares, and if so, how long? I don't think there's any, we don't have any plans or any reason to issue a substantial amount of shares. I mean, some notes might come in but are really small, but I think my goal is to get us to over $100 million run rate for about 400 million shares, because we're going to have to issue shares to some of the acquisitions. Have you hired a VP to head up your EV division? You know, something the acquisition we're working on, our discussion has been make him the president of the EV division, and he would be in charge of the growth and running that division. And probably one of the best in the industry, and we're excited to get him on board and close. We're working out the details. Do you have a number in mind how many further acquisitions will happen? Our immediate near term is closing 4, and that includes balance that we just announced and the other 3 that I discussed. Do you see any headwinds that you may face in the next 12 to 24 months? You know, my only concern that I have is material. You know, with the COVID, a lot of the plants have shut down, and there's a material shortage, there's cost increases. I think we have the labor pretty well covered, but if the manufacturers in more than the roofing world than anything else can keep up with the demand, then I think we can grow as planned, but that's my only concern. Are the potential acquisitions you're looking to complete serve as a complement to the current business strategy, including solar, roofing, EV charging? I think I covered that. You know, we're looking at one of each currently, plus the balance piece. Are you doing any partner with In-Phase Solar? 95% of our jobs are In-Phase Solar microinverters. So we've been partners. You know, we've used them since the very beginning. Back in 2007, we were working with In-Phase. So they've been someone we've been working with for a long time. Are you considering a share buyback to use a future acquisition purchases instead of cash? Typically, a acquisition is part cash and part shares, depends on how it's structured. But we have not discussed a share buyback at this time. What is your biggest concern or challenge as SRC continues to increase its national footprint? You know, I think my challenge is patience. I see the vision. I know the vision. I know we have the pieces in the right place, and I'm just a little impatient on how much time it's going to take. But that's my biggest challenge or concern. Are you focusing in any particular areas of the country for your acquisition to get to $100 million in revenue? We sincerely feel like Texas, being the center of the nation, just having a storm is a prime roofing solar area, and again, that's kind of storm country there. So when they get hailstorms, you know, the roofs fly off the shelf. You know, I've seen working with some of our acquisitions where they're selling 100 to 200 roofs a day, which being from Southern California, that's like 3 months worth of sales for us. So it's an exciting market, and we're really anxious to get in that market. Can you discuss your agreement with electric tractor manufacturing company and when you will see revenue from that agreement? It's an agreement that's based on his grant. He hasn't received his grant yet. So when that happens, we're his vendor for it, and we're going to be excited to work with him. Are the solar panels made in America or somewhere from here? We are dependent on or are we dependent on external providers like Tesla is on China? We carry Certainty solar panels as long as Certainty roofing, and they are made here in America. We try to do everything American made. I believe SunPower is made or assembled in America. That could be out of North Korea, but we really do our best not to buy Chinese solar panels. They're considered kind of substandard in the industry. They are less money, but it's one of those deals you really get what you pay for. New construction seems to be booming. Are you involved with any new construction firm to supply solar roofing to brand new homes in Cali? Yes, we are. That's a unique market because you're either in it or you're not in it, especially with the big boys like Lennar's and Shays. And there's about 4 large roofing solar companies that handle that. But what we've done a good job is we've been working with the fill-in contractors that do 10 homes here, 20 homes here, maybe 50 homes here, and we've got in on that. And we literally have over 1,000 homes that we're looking to get contracts with those partners. So it's a market that we're in, but to be heavy in that market, you really have to be one of the big roofers. And we have our eye on one of those, and I've known these guys for years. But quite honestly, I haven't, they're not high on my list of someone to focus on. How do you typically structure an acquisition? Meaning 1.5 times EBITDA, how much funded by debt versus shares versus equity? Our goal is, for a roofing company, we try to get them for 1.5 times EBITDA plus assets. We typically fund the EBITDA piece with cash, and then we give them shares based on their revenue. Will all the SRC companies integrate EV charging into their business, or will that be limited to Plumco? We really anticipate the EV charging side to grow tremendously this year and next. And we try to we cross-sell a lot. So, McKay is primarily a roofing company. So when McKay runs into a solar situation, someone from Milholland will come in and take care of the solar battery and the EV charging. So, it will be done in-house, but we will specialize. We kind of separate the solar roofing side of things, but we do share common customers. Will you ever consider converting some of the balance sheet to Bitcoin as a way to preserve and grow company capital? Good question. I don't, quite honestly, understand Bitcoin enough to invest in it. If someone smarter than me thinks that's a good idea, we would definitely look at it, but we don't have any plans now. Can you speak of how well you're doing in New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas? New Mexico is picking up quite a bit. That's a SunPower dealership. We're doing a lot of Zoom calls. I haven't seen a recent report, but New Mexico is picking up. Arizona, we're working through those calls. NREV is trying to get boots on the ground in Arizona. We haven't done it yet, but we're just moving into the season that you can door knock. The time has changed. It's lighter later, and so that's on the list. That should happen in the next 60 days. In Texas, we are not in that market yet, but as I mentioned earlier, we're trying to get in that market. Will Balance continue to service their contracts with their current 900 contractor clients? Yes, they're going to continue their core business, and what we'll do is we'll have a separate SIRC division so they can take care of all the SIRC subsidiaries. Can you speak to backlog in your company? How far out do you take orders, and what does the pipeline look like for the summer? You know, our slow time, so to speak, is January, February, March. We've been busy the whole time. We really start getting a backlog come May, June, July is when things start backing up. But I get a report every Friday. I was out of town this Friday, but I'm sure that we have $2 to $3 million backed up, and we're you know, our production has stayed steady. You know, we do about the same amount of production every week. You know, our big revenue jump is if we start adding Cornerstone's revenue to our revenue line. You know, I believe they did $1 million last month. They're scheduled to do over $1 million this month, and you start getting May, June, July, they'll start doing $1.5 million, a couple $1 million a month. So that's going to be a big boost for us. There is chaos going on at the acquisitions by diluting the shares. As an investor, it would help if you confirm whether this is true. There is chaos going on that acquisitions are happening by diluting the shares. I don't really know what you mean. I mean, we have to give the acquisitions the shares, be a part of the team, but at the same time, they're adding value. So I think it should be a positive thing, not a negative thing. Do you feel Jane and Citadel are shorting your stock and have targeted your business due to your company's success in recent acquisitions? I have no idea. I hear things, I don't know things, and I keep my head down and focus on the tasks that I can control, and I'm very positive that the results that we're going to show the public will show up in the stock price. Any thoughts on Jane coordinating and shorting the stock? Yeah, same question. I have no idea. How are you currently incentivized, and what is your current ownership? Would be interested to know your share count. I'm currently on a salary. I was last one to get an employment package. My salary is $25,000 a month, and with a car and health insurance, 401k. I haven't been issued shares since for like 3 years. I currently have 6.5 million preferred shares. I have not sold a share. No insiders have sold a share. We're looking to get this thing to a nice large number, get uplisted before anyone starts selling shares. With the wave of EV taking over in the country, do you see EV charging being a larger focus for SIRC? Absolutely. The key is getting the expertise in place. Brian Milhoen, I mentioned, our president, has a lot of expertise. He knows all about the charging system, but to get into the government side and the military side and the school side, we need the right players, and I think we're getting those lined up. What do you say to shareholders who have seen the share price being heavily manipulated by shorts? I wish I had some control over that, but I don't. I can't control the market. I can't control the price. I can only work on the workings of the company and making sure that we're doing a good job and expanding smartly. What are your chances of receiving a government grant, and how about the Soul Track grant? The gentleman I spoke with, who I'm working with on the grant, said we have about an 85% chance. I think he's being very optimistic. I think he's a little bit of a sales guy, but I would say about 50-50. And I haven't spoke with Soul Track recently, but my guess is they have, probably a similar chance as we do. Can you give a shout out to your investors, supporters at StockTwits? Thanks so much for all of your supports. I don't really get involved in social media. I don't see a lot what's going on out there. I kind of keep my head down. But again, thank you for your support. I believe we have 1,500 followers on StockTwits. I'm not positive. Only what people tell me. Are you seeing further government subsidies offerings that will enable revenue growth? As we mentioned, we applied for the grant. I think there's going to be a lot of money out there for the EV solar space, so that would be nice if we could get some of that. But I think we're poised nicely for the growth that we're trying to do immediately, and I think we have the money in the bank to do that. And I think as we get uplisted, we should find friendlier and friendlier returns all the time. Are EV charging acquisitions commercial or residential or both? They're definitely both. The residential side, we hope to take over, we handle as we do the residential roofing, solar, and battery piece, as I started out the presentation with, that's our futuristic home, is energy efficient roof, great solar system, charging in the garage, and battery backup. Do you see SRC expanding to the Northeast markets in the near future? New Jersey is a great area. I know that one of our guys is working with a Wisconsin company. If it's the right fit, we definitely will. Are you familiar with the naked short selling of the gains market makers I've been playing lately? Are you concerned at all? Again, I only get concerned about things I can control. Hopefully with the support of our shareholders, we can control that. But I'm confident if anything's going on, I think I think based on our results, we will work right through it. Has the company been approached by market participants as an acquisition target? And if so, how does management and the board think about acceptance, multiple, or premium and buyout scenario? We have not been approached, but we feel like that as we grow, that we could be a prime target for some of the larger companies. And, we would only entertain offers that were good for SRC and good for the shareholders. Do you have a potential solution to the possibility of imposed U.S. made only solar panel parts used for all U.S. homes and infrastructure? It won't really affect us because we're very much pro made in America, and we focus on that. You had mentioned a relationship with Soltrack. Where does that stand? Mentioned earlier, just waiting on the grants to come through. Can you give us an update on how the 500 new home contracts are working out for you? Are you looking for more? We have a gentleman, that's all he does, and he works on them. I have not been in contact with him, but I think we're in the middle of a couple projects. One's like 20 homes. The other, I'm not sure the size, but I'm sure we will be working through those throughout the course of the year. Will you please speak to why you believe now is the time for SRC, meaning as it relates to this being the moment to grow and expand? Quite honestly, me as a CEO, I wasn't very experienced. I made a lot of mistakes. We made it through those mistakes, and I've learned from every one of them. So I think that we have the right team, the right partners, and the right plan at the right time to make this happen. Okay. This is the last question here. After the uplist to QB, will MZ help to attract institutional investors? We're currently doing it now. I have calls with their investors all the time. We're obviously looking to get the right investors that give us the retail support and the finance side support. So yes, certainly. I think they're a great group and they're doing a great job for us, and I think they're a very, very important partner that we have. Looks like those are all the questions. I want to thank all of you for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about SRC. I'm pretty easy to reach. If you guys want to reach out sometime, I'm happy to speak with you. But thanks so much.